Welcome to Assembly. Hope you've had a good start to the day. We're still in the season of Lent, and I thought today that we would look at a gospel reading all about this picture. Hopefully you can see that on your screen at home. It's a very, very colourful painting, and we're looking over the shoulder of one of the disciples. So it's almost like we've sort of burst in on a scene that's happening, and we're standing behind a disciple, and the disciple is looking at something happening in the background, and you can see the difference in the colours, can't you? You've got the dark colours of the disciple here, and in the background we've got lots of yellows and golds and whites, and it's a bit unearthly, a bit heavenly in the background. The foreground feels very real, very like here and now. We can touch it, and the backdrop, there's something unusual happening there, something different happening. And that's our focus for our assembly today. The theme of assembly really is that during the season of Lent, we are challenged to change. That's the challenge that our faith sets for us during Lent. Lent is not about doing nothing. It's about changing. And it's to transform ourselves. So in Lent, we are challenged to go from being one sort of person and to try to become another sort of person. So that's what we're going to focus on. If you were able to get your Bible, great. Could you look up Mark's Gospel, chapter 9, verses 2 to 10. If you haven't got a Bible to hand, don't worry, I'm going to read it to you in a moment. But we're going to look at Mark's Gospel, chapter 9. I'll read it to you, and as I read it to you, you'll want to perhaps focus on the picture. The Transfiguration. 6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John and led them up a high mountain where they were alone. As they looked on, a change came over Jesus, and his clothes became shining white, whiter than anyone in the world could wash them. Then the three disciples, and here's one of the disciples, they saw Elijah and they saw Moses talking with Jesus. Now Peter spoke up and said to Jesus, "Teacher, how good it is that we are here. We will make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." Peter and the other disciples were so frightened that they didn't really know what to say. Then a cloud appeared and covered all of them with a shadow, and a voice came from the cloud. "This is my own dear son. Listen to him." The disciples took a quick look around, but they did not see anyone else. Only Jesus was with them. As the disciples came back down the mountain with Jesus, Jesus ordered them, "Don't tell anyone what you have seen until the Son of Man has risen from the dead." The disciples obeyed this order, but among themselves, they started to discuss the matter. "What does this rising from the dead mean?" they questioned. So during the season of Lent, we've listened to the story of the Transfiguration. And in the story of the Transfiguration, we heard that Jesus took a few disciples with him up a mountain to be away from others, to be alone, to have peace and to have quiet. And whilst they were on that mountain, Peter and the other disciples saw Jesus transfigured. His clothes changed. He was seen to be wearing whiter than white clothes. And beside him appeared Elijah and Moses. And they heard the voice of God. And God said, "This is my dear son. Listen to him." It's a really powerful story. And it's a reminder for us that Jesus wasn't just human. Jesus was the Son of God. He was divine. It's really important that we keep that in mind. And there's a challenge in there for us, isn't there? The disciples thought they knew who Jesus was. They thought they knew what he looked like, and they thought they knew what he was. They thought he was a prophet. They thought he'd come to give them some information about God. The disciples took a little while to realize that Jesus wasn't just a prophet like Elijah and Moses. Jesus was different. Jesus was the Son of God. And even the disciples who spent day in, day out with him, even they struggled to understand what that meant. And they struggled with the concept that Jesus was going to die on a cross and that Jesus was going to rise from the dead again. So even the disciples found faith confusing. I find that reassuring. During the season of Lent, we are challenged to change, to transform ourselves, to become something entirely different. In Lent, we have those key questions that Pope Francis gave us, don't we? What might I give up? What might I take up? How can I be more fraternal? How can I be more brotherly to others? In the chat, do you want to use the chat now? And you know I love full sentences. What might you give up? What might you take up? And how would that transform you? How would that change you? How would that make you a better person? How would that make you closer to God? So using the chat, can you just tell me what you're giving up, what you're taking up, and how you're trying to change yourself for the better during the season of Lent? I'm going to stop talking for a moment. We're going to put the music back on. I'll give you 2 minutes because I would like you to put a thoughtful answer in, and that might take you a minute or two to write that answer. There's your key questions. You can decide how you answer them. 2 minutes, off you go. Okay. Right, Mr. Kenner, did you get any thoughtful answers today?
We've got lots of thoughtful answers. So Cody said he's going to take up praying, but also give up chocolate.
Okay. So let's focus on that one for a minute. I think to help you, Cody, to take up praying, my advice would be to identify a time that you're going to do that and identify someone who's going to do it with you. So rather than saying, I'm going to pray every day, that would be really hard to achieve. But if you were to say, I'm going to pray every day at 8:30 before I come to school with my mum, that's more likely to happen. So I think it's a really good idea. You need to decide when you're going to do it, who you're going to do it with, because as we said, being fraternal, working with others, it's more likely that we will succeed. Who else gave you a thoughtful answer?
Adora has said, you can give up using phones and tablets, and instead of using them all the time, you can use the time to pray for God and ask him to help you love. They will change us because we will become closer to God.
Right, thank you, Adora. So you've identified something that you're going to give up. You're going to give up some of your time and your technology. But more importantly than that, you've identified what you're going to do with that time. So giving things up in of itself is tough. It doesn't really do much good. So giving something up to make space to do something else. That's really good advice. Thank you, Adora.
Quite a few people said they're going to give up sweets. Lots of people doing that.
So I'm going to challenge those people. It's really good that you're giving up sweets. It's good to fast. It's good to do something difficult. It's good to say, actually, I like that thing, but I want to not do the thing that I like, even though it's tough. It's good because that helps to transform you. It's even better if, having identified what you're giving up, it's even better if you can tell me what you're going to put in the stead. So giving up sweets, fantastic. What's the thing you could do a bit more of? It could be something really simple. It could be spending some time with your mum or your dad or your brother or your sister. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's putting something back in. I'll take one more.
Okay. Haddon said he's going to try and keep his room tidy and help out more at home. Sorry, Henry, beg your pardon, not Haddon. He's going to keep his room tidy and help out more at home.
Fantastic. So you're giving up, Henry, leaving a mess. And what you're taking up is trying to be more helpful, trying to be more thoughtful for others, and giving a little bit of time to help someone else, just by picking up a few things around the house. Absolutely. That's being fraternal. That's seeing yourself as being part of a family, being part of a group, and actually saying, I've got responsibilities here too. Some really lovely answers there. During the assembly today, we were playing a piece of music called Mama Said. I don't know that we played it in assembly before, have we? That's right. So the reason we played it in assembly, we're going to learn to sing this song from next week. Miss Quirk's been really busy, and she's been in contact with the composer. That's the person who designs the background music, the music that the artist sang with. And the composer shared with the school the different notes that have to be played to play that piece of music. And Miss Quirk has shared it with Mr. Robinson, and Mr. Robinson is learning to play it on the piano. And next week, when we come back to school, we're all going to learn how to sing it, because we want a new song that we all know how to sing. And we've got lots of favourite songs like Here I Am to Worship that we already know, but we want one new one, and that's the new one we're going to learn between now and Easter. A couple of things to remind you about. Ready for the chat? Here we go. Question 1. What needs to be brought to school tomorrow, Thursday? What needs to come back to school tomorrow, Thursday? In the chat, off you go.
Oh, Thomas was first.
Was he? Thomas is fast on the fingers, Chromebooks. Second question. What do I give out on a Friday based on Reading Plus? What do I give out on a Friday based on Reading Plus?
Ethan was first this time. Hot chocolate.
Excellent. Lovely. And last question. When do you come back to school?
Not Ethan again. 8th of March.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. What day will come back on?
And that was Mona. She said Monday.
Well done, Ethan. Well done, Mona, as well. Fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday. We all are. Chromebooks back tomorrow, please. We will still do assembly tomorrow, so you might need to borrow your mum's mobile phone or your dad's device. I know if you haven't got your Chromebook, it'll be more difficult to log in, but if you can borrow another device, we'll still do assembly at 10:30. If not, we look forward to seeing you on Monday anyway, but we'll be here for assembly tomorrow, and we'll be here for assembly on Friday too. Thank you for coming to assembly today. I hope you have a really good day. This afternoon, it's Wednesday, so this afternoon there'll be music at 2:30, and there'll be story time at 3. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you.